Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 3rd to the 9th of February 2014. This week is governed by Mercury, who on the 1st of February went into Pisces. So the 1st of February, as we know from last week, was a very significant date. We had Imbolc, which is the beginning of the thaw of the ice. It's the signs of life returning to the planet, a big celebration in past days. We also had the Pluto-Jupiter opposition, which we spoke about last week, Venus turning direct, and Mercury going into Pisces. So we've had a run of Mercury in Aquarius, which is very, very electrical. It's about how our mind perceives, how we pick up from the ether and translate the information that we receive. But when Mercury goes into Pisces, this is almost how we then dissolve that into ourselves and turn it into knowing. So Mercury in Pisces is almost like swimming underwater. The light is refracted differently, the sounds become more evocative and soulful and sonic, and it's to do with the cells of the body and how we actually hold and retain and remember. So we're going to get lots of emotional remembering coming up during this phase, because it does also include a retrograde. So Mercury there in Pisces, very gentle, a very different kind of energy from the Aquarian. But we're going back into the Aquarian quite soon. But the main aspect for me of this week is that all week Mercury travels very close to Neptune. So if Mercury is where we download inspiration and we upload our memories, Neptune is like the giant tuning fork. It's the actual resonant frequency of the information and its deeper meaning. So we have two very good transmit and receive planets working together in the last sign of the zodiac, which is Pisces, the ether, the universal waters, and the ocean of larger emotion. So I feel that we're going to be very receptive this week as those two travel together. Mercury being on the move, so that's going to keep churning up all sorts of memories from the past. It's a chance to do a big cellular cleanse as all this activity comes in. But to find the true tone, to find the true meaning, because all of the information flying around, some of it isn't relevant, some of it will trigger things from our past that we can clean and then let go of, and some of it will hold seriously deep and profound messages and realizations for us. So there's a need to actually filter, there's a need to be aware of everything that's going on, but then always go in and say, what's the deeper meaning of this? How does it really feel on a very eternal level rather than just a this life personality level? So all week that's going on. We're receiving incoming, we're transmitting outgoing, but it's actually permeating all the way through our bodies. So it's an incredibly beautiful and timely aspect again. It's always amazing the timeliness of this. As we've done all the cleansing, as we're coming into the brighter days of spring, and as we're starting to involve ourselves with the Chinese New Year, with the Aquarius new moon, with the journeying forwards on the year of the horse, this is actually going to show us again what truly matters. And with Venus having gone direct, we've done a big retrospective there on our core values and what we want to create of lasting worth. But now we're actually going to see the meaning behind that worth and possibly why we're here and what we're doing it all for. So the actual purpose behind it is going to start to shine through this week. By the time we get to late on Thursday night, Mercury will retrograde. So when Mercury retrogrades is about a week or 2 weeks before when we start to feel that backwards motion coming in. So although Mercury's just gone into Pisces on Saturday the 1st, it's stationary, it's holding still, it's just listening. It's listening to its own aura in a way. There's a kind of mixture of sight and sound, hearing and speaking, the two hemispheres of the brain working in fusion there. Classically, when Mercury goes retrograde, there can be some activities that go astray, because anything that we're trying to do from the purely rational thinking, logical mind, planning, making things work, running around time itself, can seem to get all jumbled. because it's not about us working from the electric, the masculine, the dynamic, the pushing energy within our body, but it's about us stopping and actually balancing the two sides of ourselves. So what I find is that for everything that seems to go wrong or not to plan or not make sense, there's the equal and opposite, which has the deeper reason, the opportunity. So you may miss the bus but then meet someone who then delivers a message to you, which then goes and changes your world. So it's not about us controlling this week, it's about us letting go and releasing and staying in those Piscean waters and just observing what are the messages that are coming through, what do they mean, and by Thursday starting to make the necessary changes so that we're not just pushing forwards and going further and further off course. But we do have a lot of steer because, like I say, Venus has gone direct now, so we've had that whole period to really get ourselves solid as to what we want and what we value, our true worth, our self-esteem and our legacy. So we do actually have a very strong base to actually then observe all these watery waverings that are going on this week. So that's it really. Mercury and Neptune, tune in deep, think across multiple lifetimes, feel it through your mind, through your soul, through your cells, cleanse anything that's coming up, because this is a great time to go into the past emotional programs that are still holding pain, and to let all of that go and to actually dive into the mystery and the wonder of a larger perspective of a soulful based life. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week.